Another episode beyond the key. Got the title and everything up here, and I've got the powerful one with us, Corey Hughes, dab extraordinaire. Okay.
I'm sick.
what? Well, I mean, what's going on? Well, I
I
mean,
got a chest cold. I'm sick.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed you had the tissue with you, and I didn't know if it was if we needed a moment of silence or anything, or if we just had the runny nose. But obviously,
Well, you sound a little muffled, but I can't tell if it's you or my ears.
it's probably your ears.
Okay.
It's more than likely.
All right.
More than likely your ears. It's hey, look, it's all good. It's all good.
It's so funny because I
We're
don't get
gonna
sick.
try to.
I ain't had a chest cold in like 5 years. I literally never get sick. And then Chris and his fucking wife have been sick for a couple of days, and I've been walking around the house going, "Ha ha, motherfuckers! I don't get sick."
Mm,
Mm,
okay, so this one came back and bit you.
yeah.
You see, you got to be careful, man, when you're on the high horse. All right, isn't that the saying?
Yeah.
You out here on the high horse. Hey, look, here's what's key. Here's what I do. Okay, here's what I do. Whenever I feel it coming on, then I go ahead and I get that super C. That's 1,000 milligrams of the vitamin C, as well as the vitamin D and the zinc.
Oh,
It's a trifecta.
I take 1,000 milligrams vitamin C every day, and I have for at least the last month.
Because it got that zinc in it.
I have a different zinc supplement, but I haven't been taking that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But I
this
just
is
did a
alleged.
whole because I had some gum bleeding, and so I watched the thing on YouTube, and they said that can be caused by vitamin C deficiency, like you get scurvy, and so I fucking got some vitamin C, and it stopped. What do you know?
What?
Yeah, scurvy. The pirates used to get it; their teeth fall out of their fucking head. Oh, let's find a good picture of some scurvy.
I mean, got scurvy. You know what I'm saying? When the last time somebody got scurvy?
I don't fucking know. People who get stuck on islands and stuff, like they get scurvy.
Hmm. Okay, well, I got right up here. The last major documented outbreak of scurvy occurred in Afghanistan in 2002.
Oh, what happened in Afghanistan in 2002? Oh, we bombed their food supply.
Afghan. Well, I mean, mate, Corey, we're not going to associate it with that. Okay, what does scurvy look like? Oh, here we go. Have you got scurvy? This is a good picture right here. Hold on, let me get this up for people. This is actually terrible, but that's okay. Here we go, right here. Right here. You got scurvy. Hey guys, hey, this just check on this. If these are your symptoms, then maybe you want to go get checked out. Sore gums, stomach rumbling, your feet are itching, your sea legs are no longer. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. You are irritable.
Because sailors used to get
There
it.
are
You'd go
red.
out on these boats and they wouldn't have any vitamin C.
Okay. There are red blotches under your skin. Your hunger is constant. You're cranky. People don't like you. I mean, is this real?
Yes, yes, from vitamin C deficiency. You got to eat oranges, motherfuckers.
Folks don't like you. That's part of scurvy.
I guess so.
I mean, you know what
I
I'm
guess you could
saying?
apply that to like AIDS too, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Here we go. This is the red blotches. This is like more than a blotch. This is definitely an issue.
Yeah, it is.
Scurvy, guys. This is some crazy stuff. Look, I mean, folks don't get this really anymore. Okay. Is this natural legs of scurvy? Okay. Okay. This is what the legs look like of somebody who's scurvy ridden.
Oh, what's that one on the left that looks like Hannibal Lecter?
Oh, it is. Hey, them gums are atrocious though, bud.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man. God, hey, if anybody knows anybody who's gotten scurvy, I mean, leave it in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Does anybody know anybody? who's ever gotten scurvy before? That seems like some shit that shouldn't be around. They said there was some sporadic cases. I think it said, what's it? Okay, yeah, for 2023, a case was reported in a young man in Australia. All right, so a man in Australia, 2023, got scurvy.
Yeah, take your vitamin C, people. Don't be gross.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you drink you some orange juice, hey, now I tell you, now look, it costs you, but when we go on vacation and I go to these breakfast spots, that's my favorite part of vacation is breakfast spots. I like to go to the elegant breakfasts, okay? And I go to the spots and like, would you like an orange juice? And I'm like, yeah. And I look over there and they got the machine with the oranges in the top and it cuts
Mm.
them open and squeezes the juice out. Bo, ain't nothing better than some freshly squeezed.
So orange juice, in particular, has always been expensive. Always. Um, Even in Florida, you'd think in Florida that shit would come out of the water fountain. There's so much of it, right? But no. Um, Even in Florida, there was a place right up the road from me called All Britain Orange Groves, and it was like hundreds of acres of orange groves, and they would sell the oranges and they would sell the juice. You could go there and like pick your own oranges and then like get it fresh
Mm-hmm.
squeezed and stuff. That was the
Okay.
fucking greatest goddamn orange juice of all time. And that shit way back in the day, like more than 10, 15 years ago, was like fucking $5 a half a gallon when orange juice was $2 a half a gallon, you know? And so
Well,
I've
you said half gallon. You said half gallon. But I'm trying when I go and get the freshly squeezed in my 12-ounce glass, that shit like $7.
yes, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
But look, I'm on vacay. Now look, here's what I tell folks. When I'm around town, all right, like there's a place in town called the Rick House. And I look at their plates and they're like $50 plates. And I'm like, I can walk back to my house. So, a $50 plate, I'm really not feeling that. Now, if I'm 5 hours away from the house, maybe I splurge on the $50 plate. Okay. Potentially. But when I'm within walking distance of my crib, like I'm in my town, I'm like I look around at the town, I'm like, there shouldn't be any place here that's got a $50 plate. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I'm in Vegas or if I'm in some big city, you happen to run across an establishment. Maybe you want to do something a little bit more higher class, which I shouldn't because all I wear out is damn jogging pants. You know what I'm saying? So I'll walk in there and folks will be like, Ninja, you got money to pay this bill, right? I mean, and I'm like, yeah, man, I got the cash, but yeah, I don't know. Being so close to the house, so in town, I wouldn't spend $7 on the freshly squeezed. And plus, there's nobody in town that has the freshly squeezed. They pour that shit right out of a carton.
You can go get like a big old bag of oranges and squeeze it your goddamn self for like $3.
Oh, yeah, yeah, Bo. When I'm on vacay though.
Mm.
When I'm vacating,
See, I want every day to be vacay.
it can't be that.
It can be. You just
All
gotta be
right.
rich, and that's coming.
Yeah. Even then, you got to work to keep folks from stealing your money. You know what I'm
When that shit happens, I'm
saying?
getting that $7 orange juice every day, maybe even twice.
Is that what you gonna do? Hey, you just go up there and Mr. Hughes, would you like your regular? You're like, yes, ma'am.
I want to like go in there. They know my name. They got my order ready.
Yeah.
I
It's
had a
like a,
place that was
it's
getting
like,
like that here. I had a place I was going to like for when we were balling last year. We always ball between like October and February are our best months. We do like double what we normally make in through those months. And so all last fucking holiday season, I was treating myself. I was going out to eat like, sit down dinners like 3-4 days a
okay,
week,
okay.
And
Hmm.
I got to this one place I really like, this breakfast place. And I got to know the names of like 3 or 4 of the waitresses, and they knew me when I came in. And then I got to my broke phase again. So
Okay.
now it's all new people. I go back, it's all new people. It's like fuck.
Hey, look, sometimes you just want to go where everybody knows your name.
You got a damn point. Absolutely. I wish I had a place like that.
White used to in this town. It used to be Suck Dogs. Look, I went to Suck Dogs so much at one point in time that I got invited to their employee Christmas party. That's how much I was at the place. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If I'm feeling froggy, I might be there Sunday. Mondays I won't there, but I was there like almost every night. Yeah, this was back during my when I still had some wind left during my party phase. But yeah, all the waitresses there knew me, and I come in and it'd be crowded, be packed. I come in and I'd be like, I just pointed a couple of them. I'd be like, we're gonna be over there. Boom, bud. 2 minutes later, I had drinks at the table. Be ready. I felt like VIP. Okay, felt like a very important person. And so yeah, I had some pull back in the day. What they call it? I had some pull at some establishments back in the day. You know what I mean? They knew who I was. All right. Oh shit. You see who's coming in here? Yeah, we got to help him out. Yeah, yes, please, and help my homies out too. I didn't really know my friends that well because I don't know, they didn't talk that much, but they knew me, so that was good enough. So that's the way it is. So always, if you can build rapport with people at places, now, of course, you're in a college town, so I expect turnover, and that's what to
Turnover,
be
yeah.
expected here. It was a good 4 year window, and then by that time, I started dating my girlfriend, and everybody else had gotten married and had kids, so the party phase was phasing out per se, and so it was all good. It was a good window. Uh, had a good time. Nobody died. That's the main thing about your party phase. No jail time, no DUIs, no deaths. You know what I'm saying? I call that a Hall of Fame career.
Yep. Oh,
You know what
speaking
I'm
of
saying?
DUIs, Chris, Chris from Forbidden Knowledge News.
Hmm. Yeah.
He got hit by a DUI driver today.
Oh shit. What,
Hmm.
midday?
9 o'clock in the morning.
9 a.m. Were
Yeah,
they drunk from the night before?
I don't think so. I pulled up on the scene. I went out there. It was minor. It was like a slide. The guy was in a pickup truck
Oh,
and he
okay,
was
okay.
pulling a trailer. And when Chris got into the turn lane, this guy was like 5 feet into the turn lane. So they hit the sides. You know what I mean? He gets in the turn lane
Hmm.
and the car coming at him just destroyed his mirror and all and scraped the side of his truck. So,
Okay, okay.
but he already got a lawyer and went to the emergency room and a whole 9 yards. So he's already plotting his
Oh man.
he the only thing that really happened was he got like some scrap cuts on his face from the mirror broke.
Hmm.
His driver's side mirror broke into the car and shot all in his face. He's all cut up on his face, and he has some whiplash in his neck and his back hurts. But it's the typical stuff.
Okay, okay.
But he called a lawyer from the goddamn waiting room at the ER, and he's got a lawyer working the case already. And the lawyer has a roadmap. The lawyer is like, okay, this is what we're going to do today. This is what we're going to do in 4 days. In 8 days, we're going to do this. I mean, the whole suing the insurance company to get some loot is like they got it prepackaged, ready to go. It's like a formula script, and so they're working it.
Like a little prepackaged lawsuit now.
I
I
say,
think
Chris, can I get a car
it's
out of
the
this?
damn. Man said I'm looking some action, okay? He said you got some action for me. Don't leave me out. Do not pass me by. Well, it's good that he's okay. But
Yeah, he's
damn, I
he's
mean
good.
that's diabolical work being drunk at 9 a.m.
Yeah, and the guy didn't have a driver license or none of that stuff. He had insurance, but it was in like his girlfriend's name, so they're still working through that stuff. Um,
Oh hell.
yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. People who drink at 9 in the morning usually have a suspended license, and they usually don't are unable to stay within the confines of normal society.
Yeah, that's a shame. About the only time that I did something like that is we went to Savannah, Georgia for St. Patty's week.
Mhm.
But we won't drive, we walked everywhere. So we walked from our hotel, even though the hotel was like a half a mile technically from downtown. We walked that half a mile into downtown and then stay in downtown almost the entire day. If one of us got tired, we walked back to the hotel and then we walked back out. So we
Oh,
were
you got a
walking the entire
conference
time.
coming your way. There's a conference coming to your town. The guys who got the fucking infrared under the pyramids are doing their big American presentation in your city.
In Greenville,
Yep.
Greenville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
China.
I just saw it like a
They're
couple
doing
days
that at the
ago.
college.
I don't know where they're doing it at, but
Oh, okay.
I saw a little clip for it, and I was like, oh, no shit. So
So the infrared for these these cylinders under the pyramid. Is that
right,
right?
they got some new stuff. They got new they have new infrareds, which offers like more information. I guess what they showed is only the tip of the iceberg of what they got.
Okay.
So
Is this going to show us something like where we can go into like a different dimension? Like maybe I could go back to the dimension where we were pre March of 2020, back when life made sense.
what I wouldn't fucking do. Um, you know, the last years shouldn't have happened. They never should have happened. I got hit by COVID and I feel like I almost died from it. A lot of people got fucked up from it. Then they did the swaparoo with the flu. It was a whole fucking mind control operation from the jump.
Right. Right.
Um, but would we be where we are today if that didn't happen? Or would we just be in the same status quo establishment who's sending money for fucking condoms in goddamn Iceland? You know what I mean? Like,
It sounds like the condoms are going to keep going. They haven't the House and the Senate won't vote on those Doge cuts.
are you serious?
They have to vote on them. Like the whole okay, so everybody hated Elon Musk. Elon Musk never had any power to do anything. He went in there and him and his team were there to look at the shit and see where there was fraud and let folks know, hey, here's what a fraud, here's what you should probably cut. And then but they had to vote on it. They never have.
I'm just glad I don't pay taxes. Like, I'm never gonna pay them. They can suck my dick.
I mean
I watched a video from this fucking constitutional tax guy like a couple weeks ago,
hmm
and
okay.
he's like, I haven't even filed a tax return in 32 years, and I'm gonna show you why. And then he went on his half-hour
Okay.
spiel about there's nothing they can do about it. Not
Oh,
filing, there's
okay.
nothing they can do to you, is what he was saying. Because taxation is voluntary. And the laws are about taxing people outside of our country and foreign entities within the country, not American citizenry, to be taxed directly, never voted on and approved by Congress in the proper manner. So this guy's like, fuck these people. I'm like, fuck these people because I'm poor and then no jury going to convict me. So that's why I don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, the your tax bracket. So the tax bracket makes a difference on whether somebody will come looking for you or not, per se. Um, so that's why I believe that you always see these actors and stuff are the ones that get caught with tax evasion because I mean their finances is right out there in the open. So I mean they look over there and they be like, okay, Tom Cruise done been in, or let's say Wesley Snipes because he got caught for tax evasion. Wesley Snipes, we seen you did Blade 1, Blade 2, and Blade 3. We ain't seen not near a tax return, and we know you got paid for that.
I think it's when you lie is when you get in trouble. I think that's it. I think if you lie, you get in trouble. That's evasion. If you just go in there and say, suck my dick, I don't think there's much they can do to you.
Maybe. Maybe. But look, you can always test the waters.
I got about 25
And
years left on this earth. In 24, I'll give you a report.
they said I made it. They said at this point in time, I got 1 year left. Okay. I made it all this time. I ain't paid shit. I told them to kiss my ass in the damn process. Kiss my
Like,
ass inside.
if you are forced to pay taxes or you go to prison, we're not a free country. You're in indentured servitude. You're in indentured servitude, period. And I don't want to fucking hear nothing else about it.
Yeah, we're
Slave.
always in the man. We a slave to something, slave to our desires, slave to lust, slave to
Yeah,
the
but those are
body.
fun.
Yeah, they're fun till they're not fun. You know what I'm saying? Corey, there's one thing that I always hear people talk about, and it's like, you gotta fight lust. I said, lust is what keeps the damn human species going. because I can't just depend on you just going out here and just making this thing happen. We need this chemical stuff that be happening in your brain that make your thing hard and make her
Yep.
punani wet. Make
Yep.
y'all want to fornicate with no rubber. It said, well, it feel better without a rubber. It's like, yeah, well, yeah, it's supposed to.
I
Because I
think getting
mean,
pregnant's a myth.
that's no myth. Okay, you got to watch out for Corey, bud. He be mything everything. STDs, pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's the other thing? Space a myth. There is no space. It's a myth. All right. So I mean, so when people are sitting there like fight lust, I'm like, no, lust is a natural response in you to make you reproduce. That's what it is, man. Because we're not like just straight up like wild animals where they're in the heat, you know what I'm saying, and just smell, you know what I'm saying, they smell punani. And it's like, oh, it's time to fuck. I mean, that's what happens, you know, with wild animals. So our makeups are just a touch different. Uh but that chemical reaction when you see something that looks nice, you know what I'm saying, she touches your leg and it stands up and you know what I'm saying, things happen. And so it's just like, man, everybody who's sitting there and they're like, oh, well, I never looked at her that way. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get to know her first. I'm like, man, stop with the bullshit, man. Man, when you looked at it, you like, man, I would hit. Okay, that's just all there is to it. Every man's trying to hit. All right, even the man that's waiting for marriage because he's a godly man. I'm so in touch with God. When he get married, you know what he want to do? He got married so he could hit. That's the number one reason. Because for me to stay in tune with God, I don't need to hit
Kind of
beforehand.
shocking.
But I'm gonna marry you so I can hit.
It's really shocking that like it has such a pull on you that you're willing to like put it all on the line. You know, like
Yes.
motherfucker. Like you seen that cop who fucked that girl in the back seat and got stuck in the cop car and had to get let out, bro. You just threw away
Dudes,
your whole
dudes
life.
are dudes are willing to throw away their entire life for 5 minutes of fucking.
That's beyond mere
5 minutes.
consciousness. That is a fucking chemical
Hmm.
addiction type thing.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's just like you snorting your cocaine or damn sugar addiction or whatever else you got, but it's the same thing. Once the train, that's why I tell folks they be sitting there like, folks go and cheat. I said, well, the number one way for you not to cheat is to not put yourself in a situation to where you would be alone with somebody for that to potentially happen. That's the number one. That's the number one way. If your ass sitting at the house, you ain't calling nobody over, there ain't gonna be no cheating. Okay. But if you put yourself into those situations to where things get heated, but there's some stuff in the back of your brain that just starts shutting down. You just latch on. It just is what it is. You know, folks try to demonize it or whatever, but I'm just like, I mean, it's the way we're built, reproducing. But you can't tell folks that. Folks want you to reproduce. They're like, man, we need to have more kids. And then they be telling folks, well, you got to go about it this way. I'm like, look, bud, you said they need to have more kids. If you talking about folks getting your two-parent household and y'all both have good stable incomes and oh my God, both, then we're cooked then, okay? We'll be out of folks right here in the next about 200 years. That's it. Most of the people are gonna be born from, you know, some passionate sex in the backseat of a car, and they really don't care about each other. That's what a lot of people are gonna be spawned from. All right, or they're gonna be spawned in poor situations where people are having kids so they can have somebody else work, their farm or whatever else. If you're talking about in these third world countries, so I mean, this is what it is. You know, no harm, no foul. But the people out there who sit there and just bang on you, just be like, man, your ass be lusting too, okay? Fuck be out here acting like they don't be out here looking and stuff. It's like the one chick that was like, "Oh, if your man looks at another woman, then he's cheating on you. You should get rid of him because he's not the man of your dreams." I'm like, looking?
If he don't look, he's probably a faggot.
Yeah, he's a closet faggot, man. Damn, it's about I ain't gay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the thing, bro. And I didn't go run her down and tackle her like like the cheetah out here in the wild. The cheetah when it run up behind him, it usually grab him right by the buttocks. You know what I'm saying? Before it gets to the neck. I didn't go do all that,
Well, I'm
but
telling
I
you with
did.
100% certainty, I don't even have a doubt in my mind. Absolutely 100% of us in our lineage, sometime in the past however many 100,000 years, has some rape in there. 100% of
Oh, there
us.
ain't no doubt about that.
100% of us are products of rape at some point in our history. End of story. So, like I said before, nature ain't gonna trust reproduction to something as fucking fickle as goddamn mutual consent. It's just, I'm sorry, it just doesn't. The universe doesn't ask permission. Sorry.
Listen, listen, I can't leave it up to that. You know what I'm saying? It's like they get consent. It's like they got enough consent. You know what I'm saying? It was enough consent. I talked about that at work the other day. What was it? I was like, was it sexual assault, sexual harassment? I was like, look, here's what the deal is. There's a certain age where you're actually walking around probably committing, sexual assault, sexual harassment right steadily. And that's both men and women. I say anywhere, but starting in probably about sixth grade when you start getting interested, you know, moving into seventh grade, you go up to the girls, you might grab a booty, grab a boob, and they're like, oh, stop. And then they grab you. You know what I'm saying? You just grabbing. You don't even know what you're really doing. You experimenting. That's technically SA. But I mean, nobody went and told a teacher or nothing about it. It's just something that happened, you know. So the consensual essay is what I call it. I said we both consented to this essay. So I mean, we understood what each other was doing. It was no harm, no foul. Nobody got tackled and taken in the back and
Or me
taken
too.
advantage of. But yeah, ain't nobody get that. That wasn't nothing like that. But everybody was just kind of interested in what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So that was your entry level. At least when I was younger. That may be different nowadays. They might be a little more keen on topics like this, you know. But there was ain't nobody talked to you about that back in the day. SA? No. Ain't nobody talked to you about
No, I learned all about that from 80s horror movies.
it.
I'll never forget Silent Night, Deadly Night 4. Santa like done goes to kill this chick, but before killing her, he has to rip her shirt open and then he slits her throat. I'm like, they had to get them
Dang.
titties in there.
Man said I had I said, let me get the boobs out before I take you out, all right. Isn't that not the classic intro to a 80s slasher film? Somebody fucking in the woods and they get killed. That's like the classic intro.
Yeah, so did you see Hard Eyes yet?
No, I know it's on Netflix. I hadn't seen it yet though.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it because I'm just interested in some cheeseball horror.
Yeah.
I'm really
And the
stoked.
last one,
I'm stoked for
the
this
last one
final
we
Final
watched in
Destination
reviews
too.
was straight Thanksgiving. That's pretty good for your run of the mill slasher movie.
I watched it, but I don't remember. Remind me which one that was.
That's the one where the dude got pissed because of the folks who got killed in that in the shopping mall on Thanksgiving on a Black Friday. The family opened up their store on Black Friday and
Yeah,
his kids got in and all of a sudden, it was a stampede. Folks got stomped on, woman's head got ran over by a shopping cart.
I remember that the shot.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. So yeah, Thanksgiving. So the Hard Eyes, and I think it's like an hour 20 minutes. That's a good range for a slasher movie. Some of this most recent stuff, they've been going on too long with it. Extending it too far. I'm like, if you want you a good horror movie, is less than an hour and a half. Okay, show me some folks, show me some fodder for kills. Okay, we got we got one person that we're interested in that's the main character. All right, that's gonna be the victor. All right, and then let's see some kills for the last hour. That's it. Gives about 20-30 minutes of intro, hour of killing, come shot credits. I mean, that's it. That's all you need to do. This is a simple formula. Simple formula. But I don't know. Some people have steered away from it. I did see that Sinners, but it made over 300 million worldwide. It's probably more than that now.
That's good. That's real good. Was that
So yeah,
Rodriguez?
no, that's a Coogler.
Nah.
Yeah, Coogler. Did the Black Panther stuff for
Yeah.
Marvel. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's actually really good for anything horror related, because usually horror is something that's very niche. They rarely do big numbers in theaters. Rarely.
Yeah, but they plan for that in
Uh,
advance.
they got to, but most of the time their budgets aren't crazy either. They don't throw the kitchen sink at the budget. So so I think it kind of evens out for them, and I think they get more out of it with after the theater, with it being like a cult classic and following from there. You know, because they have these horror conventions and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think they get a lot of traction from that, as far as that goes. But like was it 28 years later is coming up. You know what I'm saying? With theatrical release, what's it gonna make? 150 million.
I don't even think
You
that
know?
much.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like you're talking about what was the last one that people thought was good was Megan. So what was Megan's box office? Yeah, Megan. Now this was the last one that folks were interested in. Megan, with the dog.
Right.
It made 180 million worldwide.
I'm not too big on the doll movies.
Yeah, but you know what its budget was? This is crazy. The budget was 12 million.
See, that's a winning formula. I forget where I fucking heard this or read this, but years ago, I read that there was like a formula for Netflix. Like if you wanted to make a low budget film and get it on Netflix and you spent under $2 million, you were like guaranteed to make money. There was some formula this guy was talking about, and so he was spitting out all these cheesy horror movies. But yeah, all this stuff is formula. You could put 10 million in, get 10 times your money out. That's a good deal, you know.
Oh yeah, man, that's a great deal, and it became really popular with her dance and everything. I mean, it was so popular that they're making a Megan 2.0.
Right.
Yeah, so they're like, I mean, it's like, okay, sure, we can make 10 times our budget on this movie. Sure, hell, why not make another one? That's why you usually see more horror movies made, because they can make them cheap and they'll get their money back out of it. I mean, you talk about, was it a Paranormal Activity? Wasn't that the one?
Yeah.
I mean, they made. I
That
think
first
they
one was
made
made
it
for
for
like a
like.
million.
Oh, I think it was less than that. How much did Paranormal Activity make? Here we go. Yeah, Paranormal Activity made $194.2 million worldwide. The budget was $15,000.
No, for 15,000.
The budget was $15,000. That's excluding marketing. Huh.
That's like buying your equipment. That's like you bought a camera and an editor and a monitor.
That's what I'm saying. Bo, you want to talk about, man, you hit the big time on that. 15K and it made 194 million. It's like, yeah, let's make 20 of these things. You know what I'm saying?
And they
Like,
did. What are they on, like, number 6
yeah,
or something?
yeah, man, it's crazy,
You
bud.
shouldn't be allowed to make
So
beyond 5 movies unless you're John Wick. You shouldn't be able to do beyond 5. You should just be 5 and you're done.
what's great? What's Scream on? Eight? They about to be on eight? Scream
Oh,
eight?
exactly.
Technically, Final Destination is the sixth one
I like Final Destination.
because they got wild, crazy kills. There's just stuff be happening, man. You know what I'm saying? My take his dentures out of his mouth, missed a glass of water, it falls beside a lighter or something, and somehow it strikes the lighter, lights a lights the the clothes on fire. He goes to try to put it out, slips on the towel that was laying in the floor. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like you think he hits the back of his head. Oh, that killed him. No, that didn't kill him. But for some reason, he's got a bowling ball sitting on the damn counter in in his bathroom. And some pin goes and hits the bowling ball, falls on his face, crushes his face. It's just like, damn, man. You know what I'm saying? Just a chain of events. Oh boy, what was it? You see the commercial on the newest one? Was it my man's got it breaks some glass, it goes in the ice, he puts it in a cup, and you're like, oh shit, he's gonna drink that. But no, something happens and they drop the ice on the ground, but the piece of glass is sticking up, and the dad steps on the damn glass, hits the trampoline, the rake goes and hits the lawnmower. The lawnmower decides to take off like it's a Harley out there popping a wheelie, lands on the man's face, cuts his face to pieces. It's like, dude, you know what I'm saying? So it's got crazy stuff like that. Now the one that was least impressive, I think was it Final Destination 2? Was 2 the one where they were on the interstate
Yeah. That scene was
and the
killer. The logs?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now the one where they got in a wreck in the field and they had the jaws of death trying to get the person out of the out of the car, and my man was resting his head on the spike that was sticking through the back of the seat. I'm like, move your head away from the spike. Airbag went off, fly out. I said, oh my God. I mean, now that was easy. When I seen that, because the spike came through and went right past me, I said, man, that was close. And now I'm gonna rest my head on the spike. I'm like, I'm like, come I'm like, come on, cuz we got to, I mean, situational awareness. Let's say that's not where I need to rest my head. Jaws of death. I think once that happened, the car somehow blew up. Damn, sent some shit over there, knocked the post out, and the barbed wire fence went and cut a man in three pieces. I'm like, and you see, that's some shit right there that you can't avoid. That's death. Death coming for you and yours because you're not supposed to be alive. That's what Bloodlines is about. The premise of Bloodlines is that death has been going through and trying to kill off all these people who weren't supposed to be born.
Interesting. Because they should have died earlier? Because the parents should have died or
No,
something?
yeah, like their great grandparents should have died, and so it's just going through the family tree, killing people. And when you have a premonition, the premonition is for you to get out, not for you to get everybody else out.
Huh.
That's
Interesting.
the premise of the premonition. So the people who get them, they're supposed to be the only ones alive. That's why they get them. Death has chosen them to stay alive. But if they get other folks out, then Death's like, okay, well, fuck you too. I gave you a shot.
That's cool.
So now I got to bust your ass. So yeah, so that's the premise of it. That's what they figure out. And I seen that just from, well, I cobbled that together from the clips they were showing. and what some people were talking about on TikTok. So yeah, that's a unique take on it because you always thought they were just singular events, you know, but it's actually tied to an overarching theme of where some people were supposed to die and they didn't. And so Dev's like, oh shit, I got to clip y'all. So yeah, so horror movies, guys, that's where you make your money at. I mean, look, man, they making stuff like damn Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious that's where you what's it Death of a Unicorn, where you got the killer unicorns.
Yes, I saw the trailer for that. You gotta play that. Bring
Man,
that up.
that shit looks wild as hell. Here we go, Death of a Unicorn. Got Paul Rudd in it. So it's gonna be spoof. It's a spoof ass movie, bro. I'm just letting you know. Here we go. This shit gonna be spoof as hell. But that's okay. A good spoof movie, a waste of afternoon for you, or at least an hour and some change. Here we go.
This entire nature preserve was donated by the Leopold. It's truly untouched by
She is
man.
so hot. I would so fucking do her dirty.
Spotted any big game on the way. The fuck was that? Must be moose mating season or something. Aren't you the most magnificent thing?
Unicorns used to be seen like these divine monsters because people fully believe that they could heal literally anything.
It's an opportunity for immortality.
We have a moral imperative to harvest every last one.
They're gonna kill us.
Don't move.
Called it. There's no negotiating with monsters.
That's out already?
Yeah,
Is it in the theaters?
yeah. It's up. No, I think it's been out for a while. What is this? Hold on a second. Unicorn. Yeah, it's horror comedy, so it's a spoof ass movie.
It looks cool. It looks fun. She's
Let's
amazing, dude. You got to
see.
see her. I watched that whole Wednesday series just to watch her.
So it's World. Okay, yeah. So it came out in theaters on March 28th.
I can't believe this year is like almost half over. We just got here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It didn't hang around for nobody, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was. I mean, it came, and halfway through, and shit, it'd be damn Christmas right here shortly.
Bruh, the Christmas season starts literally in like 3 months.
It'd be singing jingle bells and shit. And
Ugh.
what's your favorite Christmas song?
Ooh. I like them old classics. Like
Okay,
the
okay.
like the Hark the Herald Angel and all that shit. All those.
Ooh,
All those are good.
okay,
Um
okay.
and I think you got some Nat King Cole Christmas stuff that was really good. Um Oh, the Bad Religion Christmas album, of course.
Okay, okay.
They did all those songs punk rock style. Um, what else? I don't know. As far as
Okay,
Christmas
okay.
movies, my favorite Christmas movie, well, besides Die Hard, of course, is fucking Krampus.
Man said it's the Krampus.
The Krampus was such a great fucking movie. I can't believe it. It was that. Oh, and what was that? The one with Santa, the badass Santa last year. That was cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're walking in the Wonderland type guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I like me a little Noel. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Here's the thing. I really like Christmas. I'm not a Christian. I know it's all bullshit. Ain't no Jesus or Santa Claus, and people do need to be forced to have this kind of, I hate to say it, because if we didn't have holidays that forced us to do this kind of stuff, we wouldn't ever have a day where we were just nice to each other and tried, all that stuff, right? So
Probably not.
it's got to be forced on us. But I just remember I had like great Christmases growing up. My parents, it was like clockwork. Christmas Eve, we'd go to my aunt's house, who was on my dad's side. The next day, we'd go to my other aunt's house on my mom's side. It was a whole routine. It was the same thing every year, and it was magical, and it was Christmas lights everywhere. And I just remember that as being like, I still feel the way about Christmas that kids feel about Christmas. That doesn't get great, and that's not even about the gifts because I don't get shit anymore. So, but yeah, Christmas is cool.
Right. I ain't gonna lie, the gifts really don't matter. They matter when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Because you can't buy shit. I mean, that's the premise. When you're a kid, you got no money. You have nothing. All right. So when you get stuff, you're like, oh man, this is great. Because most of the time you get told no. I mean, it's all good, because toys and shit are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to raise a family, the toys doesn't really matter. And it just depends on if you had a grandma or grandparents that would buy a bunch of stuff. But the older grandparents wouldn't do that. That's more of a new grandparents type thing, you know. So like my grandma, like she won't buy this new shit. Grandmas in the area at that time, they won't buying their grandbabies no shit because they have like 20 grandbabies. So I was like, I mean, grandma was broke. Most of the time, her husband was probably dead. She was living off of what little bit of pension he had, and some Social Security, and she probably could barely read and ain't never really held a job besides doing some stuff around the neighborhood, the community. So, but it was fine. Everybody loved grandma. It's like this grandma. Everybody loved grandma. They didn't love her because of what she gave. You know what I'm saying? You just always knew grandma be there to get you. She'd be there to pick you up. So, I mean, that was okay. But yeah, the Christmas season will be upon us before you know it. Because we'll have to go through that once again. That's usually when I start do my travel thing, Thanksgiving, Christmas, where I go back home. So I kind of got back to back moments where I'm on the road. Actually, because my girlfriend's birthday is right before Thanksgiving, so we usually do something there. So yeah, I'm on the road a lot. Right there at the end of the year.
Well,
But
let me make this really clear. At some point in time in the future, you're going to get on a motherfucking airplane and you're going to come meet us in person, probably here in Colorado. That's going to happen. I don't give a fuck. You're afraid of airplanes or whatever. Yep, it's happening. Some point. You should probably come in July. I'll be down at the Blowback Gallery, July 4th.
The blowback. Man, what's the blowback gallery?
Oh, they're doing that fucking AM Wake Up meetup every year down in Pueblo.
Okay. Yeah, I know that it's gonna have to happen. I'm calculating how I do this. That's what I'm doing. It's got to be a calculation, okay? It's not something that you can just rush into all willy nilly. All right. I like to have a plan of action. Okay. So, and it requires that damn airplane. That means I'm about to get a damn real ID. I ain't got a real ID.
They had real ID 10 years ago here in Colorado. Like if you got a license in the last 10 years in Colorado, it's real ID. I didn't have a choice. Not only that, I can get it on my fucking phone, which I refuse to do.
Yeah, North Carolina never switched that.
They didn't.
Like you could get it, but you didn't have to get it. So
All it is
I think
really
our
just putting
lawsuit-
everybody in a federal database. It's putting state information in a federal database. That's what the whole point is. It's bullshit.
And they already got my database. You gave me my social security number, dog.
Yeah, but these idiots have that on a computer that was built in 1957. Your tax returns were done on a computer built in 1962. These don't talk to each other. So to make it easy for them, they want it all together in the same system.
Okay. I was wondering that the whole time. I'm like, yo, you need a real ID. I'm like, you gave me my damn social security number. I didn't give me my social security number. When I came out the womb, it's like, what would you like your number to be? So I mean, it's like you already know who I am. It's like shit, man.
And I don't
That
understand
shit's
how the
crazy.
social security number became the number. It's supposed to be for your social security withholdings in your paychecks, but it's used for everything. How did it
Yeah, I
become
know.
the backbone of everything? Because it's the only tracking system they got. That's why
Good
they're doing all
question.
this real ID shit, because they're tired of just tracking by social. They want full on database of everybody.
That's a great question. That's a great question. Huh.
So what's
Well,
the topic of the day today?
well, topic, Corey, is the one big beautiful bill act that just got passed through the House
By one vote.
by one vote.
So
I've got a couple clips up here. Go ahead and say your piece on this particular bill. And I do
so
have a couple clips I like to show.
I'm just glad that I don't vote, and I'm glad I don't pay taxes, because I have zero responsibility for anything that's going on with all this shit. These motherfuckers, I don't know what happens when you become president, that you just change everything you say you're going to do. But that's what they did. They didn't bake into this fucking bill all the Doge cuts, which is fucked up. That's the most fucked up thing. And they're going to end up reallocating all that money just back to other things, which is fucking nonsense, which makes me, again, reiterate why I don't pay taxes.
Okay, well there we go. Well, we're gonna. I got Mr. Massey up here first.
So I like Thomas Massey. The
Um,
fact that Trump is picking on him is bullshit.
Speaking about, well, some of this stuff is what it is. Ain't no doubt about it. But let's get Massey up here. Let's see what he's got to say.
Gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 90 seconds.
Well, I'd love to stand here and tell the American people, we can cut your taxes and we can increase spending and everything's going to be just fine. But I can't do that because I'm here to deliver a dose of reality. This bill dramatically increases deficits in the near term, but promises our government will be fiscally responsible 5 years from now. Where have we heard that before? How do you bind a future Congress to these promises? This bill is a debt bomb ticking. Congress can do funny math, fantasy math, if it wants, but bond investors don't. And this week, they sent us a message. Moody's downgraded our credit rating, and the bond investors who buy our debt, finance our debt, demand a higher the 10-year note, the 20-year note, and the 30-year note. What does this mean? Very soon, the government will be paying $16,000 of interest alone per U.S. family. And what are we telling them? Instead of taking care of that problem, we're going to give you a $1,600 tax break. Under the taxing and spending levels in this bill, we're going to rack up, the authors say, $20 trillion of new debt over the next 10 years. I'm telling you, it's closer to $30 trillion of new debt in the next 10 years. Mr. Speaker, we're not rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic tonight. We're putting coal in the boiler and setting a course for the iceberg. If something is beautiful, you don't do it after midnight. I oppose this bill.
Gentleman's time has expired. Gentleman.
Okay.
He's
so
like the
that was
only
Massey right
rational
there.
person in our whole government.
Yes. I'd probably say so. I'll probably say that. Um, what did I say a while back? I was like, if they were looking at you and they were being honest, they would look at you and they would say, there is absolutely no way that we can make your life better. We have to spin into oblivion, hell, the Arctic. We have to spend because that's what we do. Because what we don't realize is that the people that we pick are humans. And when I walk around and I look at everybody else's finances, and there can be some people that's making some damn good money. And I look at them, and what are they? Broke as fuck. They are. We got people making millions of dollars. Broker than you, Corey. They look nice. They got a lot of nice shit. Broke as fuck. Nobody is physically responsible because it's not a death note to be. You don't die if you if you renege on all your bills. Now you might die if you renege on your bill against like folks in the mob or some gang. They usually are not as forgiving uh, with not paying up. But as long as we're going to spend money on defense, you can. But the deficit will always go up. It has no other choice but to because of all the black ops shit. That's it. Because what do we hear every year, Corey? Man, Pentagon lost $800 billion this year. Oh, they lost it? 800 billion. Just poof. That's a big number to poof. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so
If you
back
lost
in
$1,000.
remember the day before 9/11, Rumsfeld announced $2.3 trillion that they couldn't account for. I watched shortly, I mean, it was way after that, but it was a retrospective on that, an analysis of what was going on in the Pentagon over the past couple of years prior to that. And the video I saw came to a tally of $21 trillion that were unaccounted for. $21 trillion. Trillion. And you want us to keep paying you. Like, fuck you.
So it's like the money's always gonna get spent and it's always gonna be a deficit. And at this point in time, I'm just wondering if any of it even matters. Because if we look at it, hell, if we look at it across the board, because almost every government on the planet runs in a deficit. I'm not sure how any of us are still doing anything. Like, period. It's obvious that whatever simulation we're in, it's just the way it works. It don't really matter. We just keep dumping the money in. Yeah, stuff goes up, but folks, I mean, more or less, you'll still be able to eat and you'll be able to stay in some type of shack, so you'll still fuck, so it'll be all good.
Yeah, like what's the
But
difference between owing 10 trillion and owing 100 trillion? Like, I don't understand the difference. How does that,
yeah,
how
I'm
does,
not even sure.
well, I know it has to do with the interest they pay on the debt.
Right. Alleged interest. I don't even. Are we seeing these payments, who they're being made to? Alleged payments? And I'm making an alleged payment to somebody. What do they have? Because they ain't got $36 trillion. I don't think
Nope.
they ain't said anybody's trillionaires, have they?
Nope.
So
Although
who am I
there
making
are
a
some
payment
Saudi
to?
trillionaires, they just don't talk about it.
Oh, okay, some Saudi trillionaires. Okay,
Yeah, 100%. The
that more
richest,
money.
the genuine richest people in the world are in the Middle East.
Okay. But you always wonder. You look at that. that number, it's like, oh yeah, we got to make payments on it. It's like, well, who lent you this supposed $36 trillion over the past, was it 70 years?
Yeah.
Was it when is that when the Federal Reserve, was it 70 years ago? Is that right?
Yeah,
Or
but
is
it
it a
probably
little
went to
longer than that?
overdrive when we went off the gold standard,
Right.
which was a plot, intentional plot to destroy us. I mean, it's
Yeah,
all
and that was
so
Nixon, right? That was
yeah.
Nixon, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't really Nixon; it was his handlers.
Oh,
Nixon
okay.
rebelled against
Gotcha.
his Jewish handlers, and that's why they Watergated him.
Gotcha. So, I mean, since that point in time up until now, we've been just running deficit, and they said this particular bill, it adds new deficit money to our current deficit. Well, I'm like, well, yeah, because every time y'all get together, you talk about having to raise the debt ceiling because you technically have no money because the government's not a business and it doesn't have a product. So it has no other choice but to run in a deficit because all the stuff that it buys, and look, just looking from the outside in, all the stuff's not vetted. They ain't no telling how many scams get ran through there on the daily. Well, folks are paying $5,000 for a damn bag of bolts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, shit like that. I mean, there was the two women that got busted. I think they were charging like $900 and something for like a bolt, and they did that for like 10 years. And I was like, did nobody pick up on this? It took 10 years. They made one mistake,
I've
and
heard
that's what got them caught.
I've heard all kinds of stories about people just submitting invoices to the government and then they just get paid, like whether you did anything or not. They have no way to like verify one or the other.
So it's like crazy. So it's just, I mean, you're just dealing with people, man. Now, allegedly, this has some tax cuts, but I keep hearing that it's tax cuts for the wealthy.
Well, they say that, but it's tax cuts for everybody.
And I'm just like, the wealthy made the tax code. So the wealthy will always pay the least amount of taxes because they park money in assets, which the tax code allows you to do without penalization. They park them in assets. They borrow against their assets. Debt is tax free because that's what the world runs on. It's funny money and debt. That's it. That's what we run on. Okay. Because if we just ran on the sweat of our brow, our population would be a whole lot less. Okay. If they just ran on sweat of the brow, all right, our population would be decreased dramatically. Now, Corey, I've got another clip up here. This is we got a CNN. They're giving their, oh no, MSNBC. I'm sorry. They're giving their take on this particular bill, and let you know how this is going to really hurt the bottom. They talking about losing $800. It's like, well, I mean, I don't think the bottom really pays anything anyway, but it's all good. So let's let this roll.
Let's turn now to former Treasury official and Morning Joe economic analyst Steve Ratner. He's got charts on the potential impact of this huge legislation. Steve, good morning. So let's talk about the deficit and what this House bill, if it does make its way through, if the Senate, which has said it's not going to vote, many Republicans for this, it's just too big. But if it does go through, what would it do to the deficit?
Yeah, as you can imagine, given what Ali just went through and all the lists of things that they're doing, the impact on the deficit is pretty significant. Let's just put some numbers on some of the cuts. First, the extension of the personal income tax reductions that were made during the 2017 bill and are set to expire at the end of this year, $2.2 trillion over 10 years, raising the standard deduction, $1.3 trillion, the child tax credit, $800 billion. And then you get into Trump's campaign promises: no tax on overtime, car loans, interest, and tips, $200 billion, increasing defense spending. This is his attempt to take Social Security taxes away from seniors so they don't have to pay them by giving them a special deduction. And then you get into the cuts: the student loan changes, the climate funds, and Medicaid, $700 billion of Medicaid cuts. So what does that do to the deficit? Here is the baseline deficit. So even without this tax bill, the deficit was essentially going to keep going up over the next 10 years, maybe come down a little bit at the very end, but essentially up. Then you add in the tax bill that we just talked about, including the fact that they've played the same gimmick they played in 2017, setting up some of these things to expire. And that would make the deficit impact higher, but not as high as if you made all this stuff permanent. The record of Congress, stuff almost always gets made permanent. And so somewhere along in here, they will make this permanent and we'll end up on this line. And this line is something like $25 trillion of additional debt. Now, I do want to say that the other thing that happened yesterday, not as visible and consequential as these House votes, is the fact that the Treasury yields went up very, very sharply yesterday. The Treasury sold some 20-year debt. It didn't go well. The 30-year Treasury bond is now above 5%. What does that mean? That couldn't, well, it means higher rates for mortgage originators and things like that. But what it also means is potentially the bond market starting to say potentially $25 trillion of new debt over the next 10 years is more than we can absorb comfortably.
Yeah, Steve, it can't be overstated the importance of the bond market potentially weighing in here. Let's turn to your second.
Corey, how privy are you to the bond market?
Not very.
Okay, I didn't know if you had any insights on that. I hear a whole lot of people talking about the bond market. If I'm correct, that's when people buy the government's debt, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So technically you can buy treasury bills and things like that. So technically you're giving the government a loan.
Right.
And you get a certain amount of interest back on this loan that you have given the government.
You see, I think part of the thing that's salvageable about all this situation is that nobody's cashing out all the debt at once. So you never are impacted by, like, no one's ever like, give me 30 trillion, right? It's little bits and pieces, millions here, maybe a couple billion if you're like a business or a government that you're dealing in bonds. But the bonds that they have to pay back and pay the interest on, the interest is the real killer. The paying the stuff out in the short term is not really a problem, but the long-term interest that builds up, because what happens when they start paying more than $1 trillion a year for interest? That's bad. And that's where we're at right now, actually. So.
Yeah, we're at $1 trillion.
If they can do
chart with the headline simple, but
money people, why don't they just do some funny money stuff to where it balances the books?
Yeah, just wipe it out.
Yeah.
It's 36 trillion. No, it ain't 36 trillion. Just say, well, how much is it? It's nothing. That's what you mean. Oh, it's nothing. There is no debt. There is no deficit. It's all just on the computer screen, right? Can I just do Control-Alt-Delete? Reboot the system? Oh, there it is. Wipe the hands clean. It's like, hey, we balanced, baby. This is a balanced budget now. We just need to hit the right buttons on the computer screen.
But stark and telling. Tax cuts for the wealthy, spending cuts for the poor.
Yeah, Ali alluded to this as well, but let's put some numbers on this. If you're in the top 20% of Americans, you're going to get rough.
Now, Corey, here's what I'll say. I think it's always a hoot when these motherfuckers on damn MSNBC, CNN, all this stuff talking about the poor. I'm like, y'all be signing contracts for millions of dollars a year. I'm like, come on. Those poor people, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, why don't y'all give them $1 or $2? Whenever somebody talks about, oh man, I feel so bad for the poor people. I'm like, well, you just made $3 million last year. How much you think you want to help somebody out in the area? I don't never see a helping hand, Corey. That's what I'm looking. I'm looking at somebody extend a helping hand, but I don't ever see it.
Roughly a 3.7% increase in your after-tax income, really all from these tax cuts. But if you go all the way to the bottom and everything in between essentially leads you to the bottom, if you're in the bottom 20%, you actually lose $800. Why do you lose $800? You get a very small tax cut, and you get a very large cut in Medicaid and these other benefits that we were just talking about that affects the 20% disproportionately. So this is a highly regressive bill that essentially favors the wealthy, doesn't do much for the middle class, and hurts the poor. And then if you want to see this in stark comparison,
hang on.
if we simply eliminated
motherfucker.
the tax cuts.
He's including potential cuts in benefits for Medicaid and lumping it in with the poor when the vast majority of people in this country are not on Medicaid.
Right.
See,
And on
they're
top of that,
false.
the illegals were getting
Right.
Medicaid, Medicare.
Right.
So
So,
that's
and old people and poor people get it. I don't even qualify, and I'm broke as a joke. So
right.
it's fucking ridiculous. So what he's saying here is just not honest. And those tax cuts apply to everybody.
Right. Right. So when they say that they're not getting Medicare and Medicaid, oh, they're cutting it out. I was like, well, I think what they were cutting it out for is for the illegal people, because they were putting the illegal people on Medicare and Medicaid.
Right.
Which I don't know. I don't know how that was a thing anyway.
They just said it. They snapped their fingers, you know.
Yeah,
They can do it for them. They
snap
can
our
do it for
fingers
Americans.
that, but we can't snap our fingers and get rid of debt. I'm trying to figure this thing out. You know, we're gonna figure it out one day.
For people making over $500,000 a year, which is what roughly what President Biden was proposing, it would save $1.1 trillion. That happens to be just slightly more than the Medicaid cuts and the food stamps, or SNAP cuts, if you will, put together. So if we simply eliminated these tax cuts, we could eliminate these budget cuts on these poor people and end up, from a budget point of view, in the same place.
And Steve, let's turn to your third chart there. Tell us about the impact that this bill would leave on those with insurance.
Yeah. So again, as Ali alluded to, the budget cuts Medicaid in a variety of different ways. Some of it gets complicated. I'm not going to get into all the details, but the biggest piece of it is the work requirements, requiring people to, I think, work 80 hours or perform 80 hours of community service at least a month. Things like Ali mentioned, also checking Medicaid eligibility more frequently. There's making it more difficult for the states to get the Medicaid funds they're getting now, and then some Biden-era rules that made it easier to sign up for Medicaid, repealing those, so it becomes harder to sign up for Medicaid. So what does that mean? As Ali said, the estimates are 8.6 million Americans losing their health insurance. And what's interesting about this chart is if you go back over here, before Obamacare went into effect, when we had over 45 million uninsured Americans, it went down, 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 down. In here was Trump 1.0 with his first effort to impose work requirements on Medicaid recipients. So some people became uninsured. Down, down, down again. And now we're looking at taking it back up here and essentially reversing something like 10 years of progress in having fewer and fewer Americans without medical coverage.
Well, you ain't got no damn medical coverage, no way. Medical coverage is a scam.
Yes. So I've been quite fortunate with medical coverage. I don't have any. I haven't had any since I left police work in 2014. I've been very fortunate I haven't had a real urgent need to go to a doctor. Except, I'll tell you this much. Over the past year, I had a very severe diverticular bleed in my colon.
Okay.
Very bad. I'm talking like, for the first 6 or 7 months, it was like I was dropping like a cup of blood a day. Finally, after a year, it fucking healed. But I would have liked to go on to get checked out because I thought I had cancer for goddamn 6 to 8 months. For real. I don't. Everything kind of returned back to normal. That doesn't happen with cancer, thank God. But it would be very nice for me to be able to get checked out. And for me to go and get a colonoscopy would have cost me somewhere in the neighborhood out of pocket right off the bat, $3,000 to $4,000. Total bullshit. Total bullshit. So I don't even give a fuck. There are these people out there who believe that if you just tell yourself you're okay, and your body will follow. So that's what I do. I'm fine.
Yeah, there you go. Makes sense to me. It's like, you good, right? It's like, yeah, I'm good. Okay, well, good enough. We'll catch you. I don't know. You be matter of fact. Let me look at this. Let's see. Average cost of colonoscopy. Okay. Okay. So yeah, average cost of colonoscopy $2,412 in the U.S. Oh, it tells me where I'm at. North Carolina average cost is $2,232. Okay. And you think about, okay, so I did have to do that, but what do I pay a month in health insurance? $400?
How often you use it? That often, huh?
Yeah. I've used it a few times. I got an MRI, which it urgent care. I don't know. I mean, I got a few drugs, not a whole lot, to be honest.
So insurance works by you pay a bunch of money and then you don't use it and somebody else does.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you got that, or you got the other option. Man, if I'd have known this earlier, I probably would have did this. But started like they got the HSA.
The health
That
savings
you can
account?
put
That
money
sounds like
into.
a biggest
Yeah.
scam ever.
Well, okay, so it doesn't matter for you because you don't pay taxes anyway. But technically, it is triple. It's got triple tax advantage. So you got a tax advantage now. Uh, let's say triple tax. I'm trying to think about how it works. Anyway, you can take it off your income now. So I think you can put like $4,200 in it a year. So that $4,200 is uh non-taxable, is taken off of the amount that you made that year. Okay. And then you can actually take that money and put it into stocks or bonds and have it grow tax free. And then you pull from it tax free. That's triple tax advantage, yes. So yeah, triple tax advantage. Now it's supposed to be for healthcare needs. So what people do is that they put the money in there anytime they have some type of healthcare need, they just pay for it out of pocket. Now this is somebody who's doing okay, but they pay for it out of pocket. And then once they keep all the receipts, and then once they get older and they're able to actually tap into the account, they just show the receipts and say, "Hey, I did this, I did that," and then they can pull the money out tax free.
That's a bunch of bullshit. And I'll tell you why. You're just taking your money out of your paycheck, giving it to somebody, and then getting permission to use it later on. Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. I'm not down with 401ks or none of this shit where they take my money, they make money off my money while they're holding it, and then they give it back to me with like a fraction of a percent of interest 20 years from now. That's what I gotta say about all that. It's total fucking scam. If you got a 401k, get the fuck out of that shit and go buy some goddamn Bitcoin.
Or maybe they don't feel comfortable with Bitcoin.
I don't give a fuck. Bitcoin's gone from pennies to $111,000. It's the single most appreciated asset in human history, and it's not even done yet. You're gonna see the $10-20 million Bitcoin in your lifetime. It's happened. It's gonna happen. Period.
10 to 20.
It's got no cap. It's got no top. It can absorb every fucking system on planet Earth. It literally can absorb every financial system and become worth $1 trillion a coin. But we're talking a long time down the road.
All right. Hopefully, I'll be gone. By the time we get to $1 trillion coin, man, don't let my old ass still be hanging around here. Okay. I mean, that's just all there is to it. But yeah, so the big beautiful bill. So it's not all the way through. It still has to go through. Was that Congress? Is that right?
Senate.
I think the House passed it. So let's say I go through Congress. Of course, Trump would sign the bill if it made it through that. So they got to get their votes there. It had the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, which the overtime thing, there's a certain way that they do it as far as the money goes. And I think Correct, no tax on Social Security.
Well,
I think that was part
what's
of
a
it.
tip? If
Huh?
someone were to send us $10 on like buy me a coffee right now, that's a tip, right? That's not tax. That's tax free.
I would believe so. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I believe that would be the premise of it. Any tips. So and I want to say Social Security as well. Don't
That's good. Yeah.
yeah. So which I it didn't never make any sense to me how you were giving somebody Social Security and taking taxes out of it. I was like, I said, hold on a second now. That's fine. Ain't you kind of giving the money that they paid in? It's like, well, we still need to take a little bit of the money we paying you. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, at all. So why wouldn't you just give me the money and then not have anything up there about taxes at all? So that's just a check you get. But no, you still technically need to file a tax return for your Social Security, which sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying? When you say it out loud, you're like, okay. Yeah, so there's some people on both sides of the aisle. Of course, it will raise the debt ceiling, which um, we talked about that. The debt ceiling was going to be raised regardless, and so we'll see how it works out. Like it's going to be a tax cut for most people, and so that'll be a good thing. More discretionary income, but that's still not going to fix some of the substantial problems that we have as far as our two main things, which is food and shelter, which they don't seem to be going back towards the affordability side at all. Let's just say that.
Well, that would be a natural response to economic conditions. So that just takes time. But they don't ever lower prices once they raise them. Well, see, I feel like a hypocrite saying that because clear as fuck when all the inflation super hit hard under Biden, and like I would go to the grocery store and the cans of dog food I would buy for $1.89 got up to be like $2.39. Those cans are back down at $1.89. So I don't know how that happened, or I'm shocked that the price is returned. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. The only thing that I've seen come down in price is TVs. They about give you a TV now.
Really,
You
I
walk
kind of
in
want a new
Walmart,
TV.
they about put it in your budget. They're like, man, take this home, man. Damn TV, man. TV's a bud. I mean, they about like buying rolls of toilet paper now. It's just like, what you do this weekend? I went and bought a TV. Oh, what you get? Oh, I got a 65 inch. Man, that must have been really expensive. It's $250. I mean, it's just like that. I mean, 65 inch, 4K, got the apps right on it. I mean, 250. Yeah, some bitches were like $1,500 not that long ago.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. And I'm like, okay, so y'all managed to get TV prices down. I mean, y'all can't get none of this other shit down. And it's like, nah, we don't know how to do that. I'm like, okay, I got you. I got you. I see the game you're playing. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this big beautiful bill works out. For people out there who are in the system as far as paying taxes, you should this go around see that number come down. So that's always a welcome sight. And for the people who don't pay, then your number will stay the same. So unfortunately, you don't get to reap the benefits of this big beautiful bill. All right. But that's all good. It's all good. So we appreciate it. We're gonna let Corey get him some rest. You know, try to get well for day 0 on Sunday. Make sure y'all go to his site, CoreyHughes.org, bloodyhistory.substack, best historian on the internet.
What day is it?
A warning from history.
Is it the 25th? Oh shit. Okay.
What's that?
All right. Yeah. So day 0 because I got to do I was trying to figure my dates because I got booked to talk at the JFK birthday conference on Monday, so that should be cool.
That was on Monday. Okay. Yeah, on Memorial Day. Okay. Okay. Is that going to be live streamed or anything?
Yeah, you gotta buy tickets and stuff. I don't have any control over any of that shit.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if they were live streaming to like the YouTube or
Yeah,
Rumble or anything like that.
they're doing it through, I think, through their website, and it's like $11 a ticket or something like that.
Oh, okay. So you have to buy a ticket on the website.
Right.
Got you to watch. Okay. Okay. I understand.
It'll have
Hey,
like
well,
it'll
hey,
have like 50 to 100 people, which is fine. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. Oh, well, that's good though. I mean, so exposure, warning from history.
Oh, my new book
if
is
you haven't
almost
picked it up
done.
yet.
Well, it's not almost done. I'd say it's
Okay.
2/3 done. My new book I've been working on is a book of documents, and it's killer. It's fucking. I'm blown away by my own work. It's amazing. I'm doing Oswald's life up till he goes to the Soviet Union. So the first 20 years, and it's fucking coming along quick. I mean, I only started like 3 weeks ago, and so
Okay.
it's coming along. It'll be
So
out.
we're
It'll be out.
looking at end of the year. End of the year, probably.
No, I'm talking like next month.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. So this is accelerated pace.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Be on the
flowing real
lookout for that,
nice.
guys.
It's flowing really nicely. So
Be on the lookout for that. Okay. All right. Well, that's good news. That's good news. Yeah. Make sure y'all checking all that stuff out. A Warning from History. You can go buy me a coffee, or it's still on Amazon as well. So both of those areas you can go and get that. Make sure you're checking us out on day 0. Me and Ryder will be wrapping up The Last of Us season 2. This coming up week we'll be doing episodes 6 and 7. So make sure you're on the lookout for that as well on all your podcast platforms, YouTube, Rumble, and X. So we appreciate everybody for being with us tonight on this episode of Beyond the Cube, and we'll catch y'all next week. Peace out.